Alrighty. So, first up, we have Baltimore. Great pick for ranked. Probably one of the best cruisers to pick for ranked. Great utility, heal, hydro, and radar. Yes, it's only 9-kilometer radar, but I mean, you either have the Russians with 11.7 in 20 seconds, or the American or Allied with 9 kilometers in like 30 seconds. So, super heavy AP, improved pen angles, absolutely insane DPM, but obviously like only 27mm plating, and she's constantly overmatched by any battleship. But I mean, if you position Balti in a good position, she can be an absolute nightmare to deal with. She has okay AA. It's not anything to write home about, but it's alright. It's American AA. It can deal with some attacks, not a lot of sustained attacks, especially after dealing with like certain HE spam. Yep, we're on to cruisers now. God, Balti is like so close to my heart. I really want to put her in S. I might do it. I very much might. Look at where we have to go. I might do it. All right, we'll put Balti in S because it's the great AP DPM, the great HE show. Like her AP is a nightmare for anybody to face. Like she can consistently Citadel cruisers at like 11 or 12 kilometers. I'm like consistently doing it. Like, yeah, Riga can do it, but I mean like consistently doing it, especially against light cruisers. Cleveland, same thing. The Holy Mother, like in Legends, this ship, when it came out, this ship has inspired so much hate. It was like Atlanta, but on steroids. That is fair. Yep, the Japanese just kiting away the whole time. This is tier list based not only from my experience, but also just like in general, like just looking at the ship statistics wise. So Cleveland, she has the 12 152s. She actually is a very nasty AP DPM. She has one of the highest AP DPMs at the tier. I believe only like Mainz and a few others beat her out, but it is an insane AP DPM. And obviously her HE with EOP can pen a lot of things, but even then, even if she doesn't run EOP, if she runs fully packed, that way she can get an extra radar, an extra heal, she can just set everybody on fire from like 17.5 kilometers away. So Cleveland is another easy S tier. Yeah, she has the long shell travel time, and that might hold her back. But I mean, okay, she has okay. She can shred destroyers. Very easy to like camp an island or like contest a cap with radar, and just secure it, and then move on to a flank and just farm. Very good ship to play in. Very easy solo carry. Wichita, I mean, she's an even better Baltimore. What else do I need to say? Radar, even more maneuverable. Yeah, Cleveland did get a nerf to her rate of fire, but even then, it's barely noticeable. Like, what was it? Like a half second, 1 second. It's still barely even noticeable. Ooh, this actually might be hard. I might actually have to move ships down. Wichita having that agility is going to put her in S easily. Edinburgh, another S. Short fuse AP, absolutely melts destroyers. She has smoke, super heal, and hydro. So stacked on the utility side. She can also switch out for radar. This ship is another very easy solo carry because she just finds position to catch broadsides and just farms and an insane AP DPM. It's a monster when it comes to AP DPM. Obviously, when bow in, you're going to struggle, but you can just sequentially launch torps at them if you're in range, so that's not really that big of a deal. Edinburgh, easy S tier. Albemarle, it's kind of rough because she has radar and her HE is really good with her 203s. And she can obviously sequential launch torps. And her armor, it's good enough to bounce shells. That is true. She can bounce shells off of her belt, but the thing is, it just in a tier where every ship except Edinburgh. By the way, Edinburgh has a 30mm bow, so she can just bounce 16-inch shells. George is the only threat to her. But in a tier where every heavy cruiser is being overmatched by battleships, with something with a citadel as large as this thing is just consistently blapped out of existence by battleships at almost any angle. So it takes a really good commander knowing what they're doing, knowing how to angle, knowing how to dodge and juke to really make this ship work. It's a pretty good ship, and she's really stacked with utility, but it really, at the end of the day, it takes a really good commander with great situational awareness to make Albemarle work. Yeah, exactly. She can bounce up to 410. She can't bounce 457s, but she can bounce up to 410. Hipper. Easy A tier. Insanely good hydro. Turtleback armor. She has 12 torpedo tubes. And really good AP. Exactly. Albemarle's just meh. With a great commander, she's insane, but just as a ship by itself, it's meh. But like I was saying, Hipper has a turtleback, really good AP DPM. Yeah, she has quarter pen on her HE shells, but here's the thing. Hipper has worse HE alpha than the Baltimore does, and that is only like it's seriously Riga, Hipper, and Balti have some of the lowest HE DPM, well, lowest HE damage per shell really. So you kind of want to avoid your HE. If Albemarle actually had 27 to 30mm armor, she'd actually be decent or somewhat more decent. Yeah, Hipper, that turtleback is really nice. Yeah, mid range, it's gonna hurt you if you're caught broadside, but close range where you're contesting a cap, like the Hipper class cruisers are great at contesting caps with their hydro popped. They have obviously the 12 torpedo tubes, so 6 on each side, and yeah, you only have 4x2 guns that kind of have a poor setup. They're okay at firing angles, but they're not too great at firing angles. But I mean, Hipper she has great utility, and her armor can kind of bail her out sometimes. Just great captain testers, great utility, pretty decent maneuverability. This ship is great. I don't think it's enough to put her in S tier because she doesn't have the DPM to match some of these top tier cruisers, but she's still a great cruiser. Prinz Eugen. Here's the thing. It's the same thing I said about Hipper, except she has an icebreaker, which can kind of help when bow tanking. But most of the time shells can just land around the icebreaker and hit the bulkhead and go straight into your citadel. But the thing with Prinz Eugen is you either build for hydro and play it like a Hipper, or you play it like a kiting cruiser and you build for the reload booster. And it's hard. It's basically just a clone of a Hipper with slightly better armor and a choice between hydro and a main battery reload booster. But in this case, I'd say build for the hydro because it's a premium Hipper. Just play it like a Hipper. But at the end of the day, it's just another Hipper. It's very similar to like the whole Missouri Iowa thing. It's just same class of ship, but you're technically quote unquote paying for just the same class of ship with just one gimmick that's not really worth the other thing. The premium is nice, can make a lot of credits, easily a great carry ship, but yeah, it's just a Hipper clone. And if you're not going to play for the reload booster, you might as well just have played Hipper in the first place. But very pretty looking ship, especially when you match up with a Bismarck with the Baltic camo, and you can recreate the historical division. It looks very pretty. But yeah, just a Hipper clone. Siegfried. That is true. She does have a longer reload time, but it's not that much. I think Prinz Eugen has like 11 seconds or 10 seconds, and Hipper has like 8 or 9, somewhere in there. That is true. But yeah, I just feel like Prinz Eugen is stronger with her Hydro, but if you're going to play Prinz Eugen with Hydro, you might as well have just played Hipper in the first place. Yep, but Siegfried, very accurate 15-inch guns. I say that they are the most accurate. She is the most accurate German ship with 15-inch guns in the game. But only having a 27mm bow on a super cruiser kind of hurts her. Obviously, Torps and Turtleback kind of save her sometimes, but I mean, only having that 27mm bow kind of hurts. She has a high HP pool, and she has pretty decent secondaries, but like I said, that armor, like on a super cruiser, that just gets overmatched by battleships. She just eats damage, and that kind of puts her low here. She's pretty agile, though. I will give her that. And her guns are very forgiving, but yeah, like I love Siegfried. She's so accurate, but just that armor is not reliable. It's just not. Like, yeah, you can bounce shells on the belt, but you're just going to be overmatched through your bow and through your stern if you're not just going to be outright citadeled. So I love Siegfried. Personal bias, I'd put her up in A, but just if we're looking at the average tier, it's all about your positioning and hoping to God that RNG blesses you with citadels. So yeah, Siegfried B tier. Love, great ship, but B tier. Amalfi. Basically, turrets with less armor and one turret missing. Yep, exactly. Super cruiser, but can't get it unless the track rates. I hope she comes out as global. Amalfi. This one's rough because Amalfi is really maneuverable. She's got great armor to bounce shells off of her belt. Of course, she can still be overmatched. We all know this. Yeah, she has the crawling smoke, but she doesn't have Hydro. She has access to the floating sea mines, but she also has that raised citadel. Now, if she had access to SAP, she'd be higher up. But I just feel like she's just a cruiser with okay HE, okay AP, crawling smoke, slow torps that have great range. Yeah, exactly. I might put her in C too. It's another situation where it's like in the hands of a skilled commander, she is a monster, but she kind of struggles to solo carry ships because she doesn't have any utility. Like you can't really call that smoke screen a utility because it's a crawling smoke, and even like when you have the smoke screen that you can pop and sit still in, it's not going to last long. And she doesn't have Hydro. All she has is spotter plane and heat and heal. So that kind of holds her back. Okay. Mogami, C tier. As a light cruiser, like heavy cruiser by armament, light cruiser by armor. Really good at HE spam and kiting. Well, yeah, Italian AP is nasty, but I mean, there are better ships to use AP in. Mainz. Volti. But yeah, solo carrying an Amalfi is rough. I will say that. She's a high C, low B. That's what Amalfi is. But Mogami. Like I said, heavy cruiser by armament, light cruiser by armor. Her AP is, I don't know what it is, but Mogami's AP is just, it's okay. It's not great, but it's not anything to write home about. It's got the kiting torpedoes, which are 10 kilometers, so those are good to just throw out on a cap. Really good at kiting. Fairly good solo carry potential just by kiting and farming. You could do that all day. But it's ranked, it's kind of piss poor because if you can't really control a cap from 16 kilometers away. Like, yeah, you can sit on an island and farm, but then you're not using your torpedoes. So these ships are really more powerful in the open water. Suzuya, B tier. She has more guns than Mogami. She can set fires faster than Mogami, and she has a higher AP DPM. You're like, yeah, she obviously has great HE to set fires on everything known to mankind, but yeah, exactly. She has better DPM in both senses of the word, and yeah, she's just a Mogami better with more guns. Like, yeah, they're smaller, however, but more guns, better DPM. That's really about it. That's the only difference. Atago. I think Atago is B. She has a low freeboard. She has the 10 203s. So she has I believe she has the longest reload for a cruiser stock in the game. But yeah, exactly. The Japanese cruisers, specifically Mogami, are really just about selfish and setting damage by fire over time. But Atago, she has that low freeboard, of course, 27mm armor, but she has a 41mm upper citadel deck that can kind of protect her by bouncing shells that are coming in through her superstructure. So that can kind of save her sometimes, but she does have an exposed citadel, and she also can be citadel easily through her bulkheads. Yeah, I agree, Wolfie. Wargaming does need to fix Yami. Just nerf her reload, give her back her old accuracy, and then we'll be fine. Yeah, exactly. Her low freeboard kind of saves her, and that 41mm upper deck can kind of protect her by bouncing shells. But she can easily be overmatched, of course, and she can be citadeled through her front more easily by other cruisers because she has an angled bulkhead inward on both the rear and the front. So she can kind of eat citadels at weird angles. But once again, she has better torpedo angles, so that can kind of help when pushing. And she can have either 10 kilometers or the 8s. Bullshit HE. Also, she has the Thinking Man's AP shell, which can nuke cruisers that go broadside. But you just have to know when to use it and position yourself to use it. And just be careful. But it's another thing where it's like, it's better in standard than it is in ranked. But it's still stronger than Mogami. Yeah, exactly the long lines. Azuma. Now, I'm not putting this straight into F tier. Because it is a super cruiser. And its guns are... they're meh at best. But if you... She's a horrible pick for rank. Horrible pick for rank. There are so many better ships to play, and it's just... she's not going to be there. But for standard, if she takes a kiting position and HE spams and just plays it selfishly like a Mogami, she can succeed. But, and this is a big but, this ship is overmatched heavily. Yeah, like, yes, she has decent secondaries and great AA, but man, oh man. To quote the Lord and Savior Euro, this ship is basically a smaller Yamato. But that begs the question, why the fuck would you want a smaller Yamato? It has the same citadel layout. It's just as easy to citadel. And in a game where it's overmatch exists, there's no point. There's no point. There's no way it can bow tank. It's hard to bounce shells on the belt, because if you don't angle in time, it'll just go through that little cheek. And all you have are your guns that reload in like 23 seconds. Now, it's a great cruiser killer. If a cruiser turns broadside to an Azuma and it is AP loaded, holy shit, that thing can smoke it off the planet. But man, oh biggity man, that long reload plus the non-reliable armor hurts this ship. Horrible pick for ranked. It's a very selfish pick for standard. It's not an easy ship to solo carry in. Chapayev, easy A tier. Fast shells, great ballistics, really helps with her AP DPM. Her HE, it's kind of a low alpha, but you obviously have a lot of them, and you can just build for the bullshit fire chances. Plus, you obviously have the great armor to bounce shells with the icebreaker. because I believe you only have a 25mm bow. She might have a 27, but I believe she has 25 now. But she can easily bounce most battleship shells off of her belt and off of her icebreaker. Yeah, Azuma's turret traverse is bad. Nah, I don't think it's F. It is pretty decent in randoms by taking kiting positions and fighting enemy cruisers, but it's a low D. And also no Choki, FDR never. No. No. Back to what I was saying. Chapayev, great AP DPM, great fire starting, obviously radar 11.7, so really good when taking up a kiting position and kiting away. Also great when pushing in and using your radar to your advantage. And having those flat shell ballistics really help when dealing with long-range targets, so you don't have to wait 15 seconds like a Cleveland for your shells to reach your target. But obviously, the ship is raised Citadel, and it's a light cruiser, so it can be Citadel relatively easily when caught broadside. Ship is pretty easy to just outright delete. But yeah, great utility, great AP DPM, great HE fire starting chances. All in all, great pick. Great pick. Kutuzov. It's basically a worse version of a Chapayev. Because it doesn't have radar. Yes, it has smoke and heal, but it does not have radar. It has the 8-kilometer torps instead of 4. But if you're going to use the smoke of a Kutuzov, it relies on somebody spotting for you. It cannot spot for itself. And it's more of a heavy cruiser than it is a light cruiser. Let's be honest. So, great ship, great DPM, but the utility kind of points more to a selfish play style. So it's great at farming. Yeah, exactly. Great for solo play, but not for supporting the team. Kind of tough to carry a game. Because if you lose all your spotting, there's no point in having the smoke. So, like I said, great DPM. It has okay utility with the Hydra and the heal, but the smoke, it's a blessing and a curse. Because if you can pop smoke and you can farm, great. But if you have nobody spot for you, there's no point in bringing it. There's no point. So I'd say it's better than Mogami, definitely in terms of AP DPM. But yeah, that kind of a lack of intelligence data. It's kind of comes back to haunt this thing, because you need somebody to spot for you to be effective in that. Ochakov, do we even need to talk about it? Do we even need to talk about how broken Ochakov is? It's one of the most agile ships in the game, with an insane DPM. It reloads faster than Cleveland does. With great turret traverse, 8-kilometer torpedoes, 11.7-kilometer radar, heal, hydro, and the bullshit armor we all know, love, and hate. God almighty, the Ochakov is such a great ship to play. It's a great pick for ranked, great pick for standard. This ship can easily carry. This ship it's not a certified Kraken printer, but it is very close. It is very, very, very close. Yep, this insane HE DPM, insane AP DPM, radar, hydro, heal. There's so many things to like about it. Alright, Azure Lane Baltimore, also an S tier. We might have to do some reorganizing here, but I mean, it's a Baltimore that reloads faster. Like, yeah, it's got the same maneuverability problems, but with Azure Lane Baltimore, it's about the same. Well, of course, Choke, but I mean, if any of these cruisers are caught broadside by a Stalingrad, tell me it wouldn't be a different result. But yeah, I mean, Azure Lane Baltimore reloads faster. Other than that, it's just a Baltimore. Just reloads faster. So, it's Pog. Charles Martel. And I feel like we have too many ships in S tier. So with my build, if I go full reload, my current Azure Lane Balti reloads in 8.2 seconds, while my normal Balti will reload in 8.8. So Once I get my reload commanders leveled up high enough, there will be a noticeable difference. But right now it's about like half a second. But it is still pretty nice. Yeah. It's got speed boost. It's got okay guns, okay torps, and heal. Really fast with speed boost. But other than that, it's just average. It's a great ship, but it's average. It's outshone by others, so it's a low B, high C. Actually, I might put it. Yeah, the speed boost is nice, but it's just outshone by other cruisers. It just is. Yeah. Mainz. Holy jeebus, that thing with its AP DPM is insane. Now, yes, it only has 25mm bow. Yes, it's caught broadside. When caught broadside, it blows up. But, I mean, when played correctly with AP, shooting AP downrange, this thing is a monster. Holy bejesus. This thing is an AP spammer, and it should be an AP spammer to the day it dies. So, it also has great hydro. It has 16 torpedo tubes, so 8 on each side. It's got heal, it's got patrol fighter, and the great German hydro. So it's a great cap contester. You just have to worry about that poor concealment and that poor turning circle. But other than that, the sheer AP DPM is just an absolute monster to face against. Pyotr Bagration. See. It's got decent AP, but I mean, it's not that much better. Like, so what else ships? Well, we'll get to that in a second, Mikasa. So P-Bag, I mean, it's just an even worse version of Chapayev. It's a worse version of Kutuzov. Doesn't have smoke, doesn't have radar. All it has is hydro and heal. It's got okay AP. It's got decent firing angles. That's about it. There's nothing else going for it. Last but not least, Riga. I'd say it's A tier. Meta Jerk might hate me for it. I'm not putting it in S. But it's got strong guns. Very good guns. Very, very good guns. And when played correctly, this is a certified Kraken printer. You can easily solo carry with this thing. But I just feel like there are better ships to play than Riga. Not by a lot, but by a little. Riga is a great ship. Great guns. Good utility. Great usable armor. But you just have to be careful with your positioning. I mean, her AP is weird against battleships. Against cruisers, I've found it can consistently citadel broadsides, but you just have to make sure you aim your shot correctly and you're not too close so you don't overpen. Yeah, Riga is a very strong ship. I don't think it's enough to slot her into S tier, but she is very strong. Yeah, her AP is inconsistently consistent. Or consistently inconsistent. Yeah, the flight time on the shells kind of helps. Here. I feel like Balti is still a great cruiser, but she's been power crept by like the HE spam and the better AP DPM cruisers of the type. So I feel like she's an A. Azure Lane Baltimore will stay up here because, you know, it's a faster reload, and with the Azure Lane Baltimore commander, she's more agile, so that can help her. But I feel like every other ship in S tier has earned the right to be in S tier. Like even Balti earned the right too, but I mean, it's basically the same ship. AL Montpelier doesn't exist yet, but that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, like Cleveland, it has the insane AP DPM plus HE that we all hate to face. And obviously great utility. Wichita, it's even more maneuverable than Azure Lane Baltimore. The thing's just juke. Plus great radar. Fiji, Edinburgh, Alright, without Baltimore Commander, alright. Well, then that reload, it is great, but I don't think it's that much better. Here's the thing, Lewis. I think it has one of the slowest reloads for the cruisers. It's got it's a low freeboard, but I mean it's a pretty easy target to Citadel if caught broadside. But I mean that goes without saying for all cruisers. It is pretty maneuverable, and it's got decent torpedo angles, but I just feel like it's outshone. Well, what do you mean it's worse, Baltimore? Actually, Baltimore has a faster reload. Same arm, it's exactly the same, except it has a faster reload. Suzuya and Siegfried are both in Bravo. They're both in B tier. Because Suzuya outperforms Mogami easily. Suzuya might... Suzuya's... This is hard because like all the cruisers, or like the majority of the cruisers that are like in the top 3 spots can easily be switched out between like either of these 3. Yeah, Siegfried's in B, just long reload on laser beams, but I mean, inconsistent, like the poor armor kind of hurts it because it's a super cruiser, but it's got the armor of a heavy cruiser, so it's not gonna be able to tank battleship damages effectively. So yeah, I think both of these, both Balti and AL Balti. So Azure and Baltimore, I forget what it is stock, but I know with my build at the moment, it has little more than a half-second faster reload. So it is nice, but no. Wichita is just a better version of Balti, so it's gonna be an S. Same thing, like Cleveland's up there, Mainz is up there. I think that's a fair assumption. These ships can easily go into S, but like any of these ships, excluding the 2 hippers, could easily be slipped in the hips. Not the commander, the ship itself. The ship itself, Mikasa, has a faster stock reload. That's why I had that rated up there, because as my microphone. Mike. No. Okay, Mike's back. Yeah, the ship itself reloads faster. Well, yeah, they have the refill station skill, but what I'm saying is the ship itself comes with a faster stock reload than Balti, even though it's the exact same ship. Azure Balti comes with a faster stock reload. Yeah, that's why I had that rating up there. So I think it's rough for me because I love playing in the Balti. These ships can easily solo carry. But, I mean, Wichita is just a better version of it, so why would it be in the same tier? But these ships can easily go into S. Yeah, easily. Sorry, so in S tier we have Cleveland, Wichita, Edinburgh, Ochakov, and Mainz. In A tier we have Balti and Azure Lane Balti, Hipper and Prinz Eugen, Riga and Chapayev. In Bravo tier, we have Siegfried, Suzuya, Atago, and Kutuzov. In C tier, we have Albemarle, Amalfi, Mogami, Charles Martel, and Pyotr Bagration. And in D tier, we have, unsurprisingly, the Azuma. Yeah, I would believe so, Mikasa. It's going to be around a second to about half a second to a second faster stock reload for some reason. I don't know. But yep, there it is. Tier 7 heavy and light cruisers. There y'all go. So if you guys agree with what I had to rate, let me know or if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification button, because I'll be coming out with a lot of these type of videos here shortly after. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.